another episode of For Better or Worse.
Yeah.
How y'all ladies doing?
Good,
Y'all
good,
looking
good.
beautiful over there. I see
Thank
y'all.
you.
So I'm gonna just get right to the point. A man paying all the bills, right? In this world of hypergamy, right? Where women want to date up, right? Up. Should that man be allowed to cheat?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Just because you paying all the bills don't give you a pass to go out there and be disrespectful towards me.
It's not
Right.
you.
It
Talking about
is.
in general.
But no, it's not. It's not. No.
Be
What she
dis-
said, you can't cheat just because you paying all the bills. You can't cheat because you paying all the bills. That's not how that go. Like if we committed, we committed. Right? It's the
Yeah.
disrespect. It's the loyalty. That's what's wrong with people now. Oh, I'm making money. Or I'm doing this. I'm high value. They got everybody feel like they prime rib. So because I'm prime rib, I can go do whatever I want to do. How about this? Just be honest. Like, listen, I don't want to commit a relationship, and I'm going to do what I want to do. People start taking away people's rights. I'm going to take your right to choose, but I'm going to go and do this. Where's the loyalty? Where is the humanity, the morality?
One would argue. Go ahead, excuse me.
No, I was just gonna have a question. So if he's paying all the bills, is the woman working also, or she stay at
No,
home?
we talking about hypergamy in a situation where, in a hypothetical situation where the guy, she's staying at home. He's giving her a certain lifestyle where she would never have to worry. However,
Well,
he
give
has
me
a
the
taste for
lifestyle
a
I got
bunch of
worry.
different women.
Mm-mm.
But she's also giving him a lifestyle. He don't have to worry when he come home, far as the house being clean, the kids being taken care of, dinner being ready, clothes being washed and folded. So she is, in a sense, contributing just as he's contributing
would
far
agree.
as the bills.
Right.
And just because he paid the bills, she might be the one to keep up with the bills with the money. So no, it doesn't give a man any pass because he putting money out. Anybody can put money out. That's the easy way out because you're not really lifting a hand.
I'm gonna say this then, right? So so a lot of women are trade, going to work every day, living check to check, with a loyal dude to be in a relationship, a high value relationship with a high value man, whatever that is, right? But with just the freedom, they don't have to work, they don't have to worry, and that's the trade off.
I wouldn't say it's a lot of women. I would say it's some women. Okay. And I would say those women, they just I can't really say how they feel. In my mind, I would think it's something going on with them to where as though they feel less of to allow something like that to happen. But majority of the women, no.
So I'm gonna go here. I'm not even gonna say it's something going on with them. What I've learned, you got to make the rules to your relationship.
Okay.
What's going to work for y'all ain't going to work for the couple next door. And I think the problem is we got to communicate. I'm not knocking a woman who's going to say, listen, I'm trading in my man being faithful for a life of leisure. And I'm okay with the trade-off. I'm not knocking that woman. If it's working for you, it's working for you. Right? I think we got to come away from this high value. We got to throw that in the trash. We got to get rid of that. Because I think it's two people making a commitment. Hey, this is what the relationship going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship going to look like, Shay, you don't have to work. You don't have to do anything. But I am going to go be with other women.
Well, what if it's like one of those things where what's understood ain't got to be said?
That's bullcrap. Because we grown. Everything got to be said. Ain't
'Cause
no such thing as
the guy might feel like he don't have to explain anything. Like,
well, then we got
I give you this lifestyle.
No. So now we got a
Take
bigger
it.
issue. No, we got a bigger issue because we always had. That's the problem why relationships don't prosper and don't do well because people are not communicating. Stop assuming that I know what's going on.
I think a lot of that comes with just the internet and people getting to looking inside of other people's lives.
We not internet relationships. We
Yeah,
real
but
people.
I'm just saying though. But that's what like a lot of the young people. That's why it's a conversation because it's not like this is a new thing. Like our great grandfathers used to cheat and have families everywhere, and then you meet everybody at this daggone funeral.
That's what great grandfathers used to be able to take care of 2 homes. Great grandfather used to be able to go out here and damn near build you a house.
Yeah.
See, we can't. A lot of times, what I'm learning, it's just like the Bible, and it's just like we want to compare relationships to back in the day.
Yeah.
A lot of times, people not standing on what it used to be back in the day.
And a lot of time, and at the
Wait a
same
minute,
time,
and hold on, because before you even go there, women now are so disrespectful. Back in the day, if Miss Barbara was sleeping with your husband, Miss Barbara ain't say nothing to you. Miss Barbara wasn't coming up on the internet posting sneak pictures. Miss Barbara wasn't doing all that.
Yeah.
Miss Barbara could have a baby with your husband, and she was never stepping out of line and being disrespectful.
It'd be just two little kids that look alike at the playground.
And guess what? Y'all kids used to play together. And it was the respect. Nowadays, people, it's the flex to be a side chick. It's a flex to be the other woman. Oh, and he bought me this too. And guess what? I got a kid for him too. Men don't even put boundaries on the side chick no more.
Answer me this though, as women, like, what is that? Like, what is that feeling? Not saying that you probably personally is feeling like, but like as a man, I might not do certain stuff, but I can understand because I got the same chemical makeup, right? Yeah. But what is it in women that feel like this, even like the self-esteem thing or shame, where they'll come out and be like, yeah, I'm sleeping with your man, and yeah,
it ain't no shame
no
more.
I don't think it's nothing to do with self-esteem or nothing like that. I think when these females are coming out, I think that they are emotionally attached to the guy, and they feel as though if I let her know she's going to leave him alone, and then I have him.
Yeah, so it's really about getting the guy.
It's about getting the guy. And let me tell you, most of the times when they get the guy, what happened? He ain't what you thought he was. He want to do the same thing. He want to repeat the same thing, and also he ain't what you thought he was. But sometimes what people don't understand, you get riled up in the fight with the female. Sometimes people don't understand. Now it's about the fight with her. It ain't even about him. You think it's about him, but I'm in competition with her. I'm going to show her. And then once the fight is over and you get the man, you like, yo, this nigga ain't that.
But here's the other thing. This is, I think, what the women are thinking is because he's cheating on his significant other with the girl, he's being more open and sharing with the girl. So she feel like they got some different connection, right? A deeper connection. So she think that if she sabotages his relationship, because she thinking they're super duper close, but she don't understand that on the man's side, I'm just trying to, my fun, I love my family no matter what. Men wired a little different. Our family is our family. Yeah, I talk to you, but that's it. We talk to God and he don't even answer sometimes. But, you know what I'm saying? But she don't mistake that as in like, I'm in there. It's a bond. And he talked to me more than his wife. I know stuff about him his wife don't know. And she sabotaged. And it's like, he never, she thinking just because of that, she can have a better relationship with him. But in all reality, it's not what he wants. He liked it how it is.
Right. And that's because he put that belief in her.
There you go.
What belief though?
But my thing is this, because it's come to this. If you go into a chick and you telling her everything she want to hear, y'all dating, she's going to get emotionally attached. So she's going to think it's something
that's if, all right, to both of y'all point, I think that's if, it's one thing if you lying to somebody, right? Meaning that you're pretending that you're single and you got a whole nother family. It's another thing if she know you got a family. See, that's the difference. Where she feel like she closer.
She may know he has a family, but he may be saying, well, this issue's going on. I'm working on leaving. So, but I got the kids with her, this and that. You never know what a person is telling someone.
I'm speaking from the hypothetical situation that he's not trying to make some promises to her that he's going to leave her. Even though, and a lot of times now, the broke nigga shit where he might just be handsome, whatever, and can sling some dick. So he might just sell dreams of, I'm going to be with you. But the dude with the money ain't got to do all that.
That's true.
That's true. And you do.
Because long as she's getting spoon-fed money.
Right. You do have some females that I'm pretty sure, I don't condone being a side chick, but you do have some females that, when they meet a guy, they might be looking at him just for the money. Okay, you're going to take care of me. I'll take care of you, this and that. But as I stated before, feelings start to get attached.
Yes. Women are emotionally created. No matter how much we try to run away from it, no matter how much women try to run around and say, oh, no, I don't care. We're not created that way. And us women, we have to be okay with that. Like, I'm okay I'm an emotional person. We need to be okay with that. Stop running around thinking you can have sex with these men and not catch feelings.
That part.
Let's stop pretending that we can operate on the same level as men.
That's the thing. That's feminism. We could do the same thing.
Throw it in trash. Because we can't do the same thing. We're not going to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah.
What I love about black women, we're the most educated. We're on the rise. The most entrepreneurs. We're doing us, right? But when it comes to emotionally how we
That's
feel,
still women.
we're still female.
Yeah, it's still women.
We're still female. So we gotta go away from the mindset I can do what he don't. No, I can't. I'm about to go in the corner and cry right now.
I think
can't
in all fairness, with the education part and all that stuff, you can do what men do, but here's the thing: we're still men and women, and we are different, and that's okay. It's okay that we're different.
Yep.
We're equally different. You know what I mean? So like when a man steps into that realm where he's trying to do what women do, and I'm not talking about jobs where he's doing something that's traditionally a woman job or vice versa.
A lot of these men want to be chased.
But when a man steps into this thing where he's being a woman, we're going to call him zesty and da-da-da. So it's no different than when a woman is trying to be a man and operate like a man with all the makeup on. That's to a certain guy, that's a turnoff, because that's like a dude. Think like a man. That's a dude for real.
I understand that too. I think it's understand that, but I think we also, people, because of the time where we are, we have stepped away from gender roles. People ain't going like this.
All right,
I believe in gender roles. I believe in gender roles, and I think it was there and it was created for a reason. Too. I believe in traditional makeups of the household. I believe in those things are tradition for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people got to get in line and got to get in their place. A lot of people ain't operating in their currency. A lot of people are not operating in their currency.
Talk heavy, shorty.
If you are a female, I am a female. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you, but I cook, clean. Sometimes I don't feel like doing it, but I feel like just because I'm a female, it's part of my role.
But I think a lot of it got to do with just having a family as well.
Yep, responsibility of family.
So like I think like even when we talk about traditions in general, like we live in a different time where everybody is not a mom or everybody's not a dad or the way our work schedules work. So like I think to a certain degree, traditions, you modify those traditions to your living experience. How you living.
Because most women, if you have a family, you may not be able to cook every single day of the week.
Who does it? Right. Yeah.
You know, and for me,
like this.
I have children, and I have children from all ages.
Yeah.
And I have football, I have lacrosse, I have soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I'm on the field 5 days a week. But me, personally, I love to cook. So on Sundays, I may cook 4 meals to last me through the week so I don't have to eat outside. Right. And some days, I'm going to fall short, right? Because we're all human. So it's like, this is a Chick-fil-A night. Because Austin was on the field to 8:30,
right.
9 o'clock. So you do twist and turn based off what your schedule look like. I think a lot of times women may understand that, but I feel like men don't. And here's what I mean. I feel like a man feel like the house is the woman's job, even though the woman may be going out to work 40 plus hours too. So that man may have to understand, hey, babe, I need you to clean the house today because I worked all day and I got to take the kids to practice. I think it's got to be a give and a take. I feel like most men, not all, but some men, they come home from work, baby, and they feel like they have conquered the world. And they feel like they have conquered the world, and they don't understand the woman has gone to work.
But that's not our biological makeup. Go ahead.
I just want to give, number one, kudos to you for doing all that you do, being a strong woman. But I also want to give kudos to my husband, okay? Because my husband, he work, he come home, he take care of the house, he makes dinner, okay? Not to say that I can't, because I know how to cook, I know how to clean. But my husband know that I be extremely tired when I get off of work. I get off of work a lot later than him. Mm-hmm. So as he was saying, it depends on the relationship, the scheduling and everything. And thank you, baby, for being amazing always.
You do stuff too. Like, let me say this real quick too, what you were saying, right? A couple of things. Like, biologically, like, so, all right, so back to what you said with traditions, right? Traditionally, you know, we was able to live off of one income, so mom can stay home and raise the family. However, we don't live in that world no more, right? But that's how we naturally wired to a certain degree, or it's in our DNA because we did it for so long up until now. Correct. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, a lot of guys don't got it in them to understand that, hey, yo, you know, like, she's tired too. A lot of guys expect women to work, suck and fuck, cook and clean, and take the kids together, and all these other things. Yep. And like, how dare you be tired?
And that's the problem. And even though, and a lot of women, we get called gold diggers for something that's how we wired. We're wired to be able to take kids. We're wired that way.
Yes.
But I feel like just like women had to jump on a bandwagon and get it together, I had to go out here and work too. Men gotta jump on a bandwagon and get it together.
So in other words, for the household. So in other words, it's like now this is where the lines of traditions blur, where, you know, since we traditionally a man will work and and the wife would stay home. Now in today's society, women are working and men need to start doing more home. And this is where we need to
Communicate.
communicate and work together, because a lot of guys be still wanting sex and all that after she done did all this, wash clothes, fold, went down to the river and washed the clothes, hung them on the line, wait for them to dry, ironed them with the fire, the iron that you got heat up on the stove, folded everything, fucking braid the kids' hair, all that stuff, and cooked, made apple pie from scratch, and went to work, and niggas still want some pussy, they didn't care.
And my thing is
Excuse
this,
me.
and I'm gonna say this, and this is what makes, and what you just said is key, because a man will see you doing all of that, and then when you fall short in the bedroom, oh, that's why I went to that's why I cheated with Jane down the road.
Yeah.
Because you was falling short in the bedroom. But it's like
free time.
But Jane got a lot of free time. And Jane ain't washing your dirty drawers and wiping snotty nose of your kids and getting your kids back and forth to practice either.
Sidebar. That's why a lot of times a side chick think you're so great, because she ain't got to deal with you, wash your shit stained boxes or your dirty ass work clothes, your socks with the holes in it. She think you great because there's no stress in the relationship.
It surely ain't.
Y'all don't have to deal with each other, pay bills with each other. He forgot to take the trash out. I keep telling this nigga to fix the leak or whatever. But with her, it's like, he
It's
coming and
good
going.
here.
Yeah, it's great.
He coming over here smelling like cologne. He coming over here looking good, smelling good. He done bought me something from Chick-fil-A. We about to eat and watch a movie. You're living a good life. You're not getting.
Then he come home not hungry.
And then you come home and you give her hell.
Yeah.
You come home and you give her hell because she loves you so much. And she
Mhm.
got to put up with everything that you give. And I think that's what's not fair. And I'm not saying women are not perfect. We are all flawed.
Well, but I'm going to say this, but the way women are nowadays, in my opinion, is a reaction to how men are.
Correct. And that's just like why women get the degrees and work so hard. You know why? Because we stop believing in our men.
I just want you to elaborate more on that.
Which part?
How you said how men were is how women are.
But how we are, rather. Like, for instance, right? I'm gonna use another example that's kind of off the point, but same logic. Remember the KKK and what they was doing back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
And then their reaction to that was the Black Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
To counter it. So like men were running over top of women, putting their foot on their neck, having side families and this, that, and the third, depending on men. And a woman that depend on the man, right? He cheat and she ain't working 20 years and they get a divorce. Now she has no work experience. She has anything. Now she got to get out here and fend for herself and start over at 35, 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then imagine, and it all depends on the type of man it is. If he's a good man, he's going to do right by his wife. Right, but then everybody is not a good man.
Correct.
So he come home, he had a bad day at work, pop smacked her. Now the son's sitting in the corner, he getting all fucked up because he's watching dad beat on mom and all kinds of weird stuff, because people are just people and everybody deal with stuff different. So women gotta imagine going to work every day to a fucked up boss. You don't know what you expect every day. It all depends on what mood they're in, because they got all this power and control over your life, and it's like it's all based on how they feel. Who wants to be like that?
Correct.
So a lot of the times with the moms who's teaching the daughters, all daughters across the board, and us men, we ain't had nothing to do with it, but we reaping the effects of it. They was like, nah, we not going to teach you to be under people's thumb. How did your grandfather raise you?
My grandfather raised me to be independent.
Yeah, because he understood the way, and mothers did the same thing because they understood how men operate.
And that's
And
unfortunate.
that's a fear.
And then with us and our daughters, right? I go back and forth with myself, like, am I raising her to be a wife or am I raising her to be a boss? And that's a hard thing
That's
to
a balance
do.
right there.
It's
'cause
a
you want her to be able to
balance.
find somebody.
You want her to be able to find somebody. Back in the day, I have a good friend who went to Harvard.
Yeah,
And she has her diploma on the wall, but she's a stay-at-home mom.
right.
And you know what she was taught? You go to Harvard to find your husband,
Right.
not to find the job. And I think that hasn't been a luxury for Black women. That has not. It's been, we're on a teeter-totter. Like, I want to be a good woman so I can find my husband. I want to be submissive. I want to be all these things. But it don't look good. Anything that you hear about marriage, relationship, it's a lot of cheating. It's a lot of foolishness. And when you give up your financial freedom, it's over for you. Because you have to stay in stuff that you would not necessarily stay in, because you can't get out here and get on your feet.
But just like how she have a degree on her wall, and although her family told her she's going to college to meet her husband, if something was to go wrong in a relationship, she has a degree. She has a career
But what's
path.
she going to do with it?
You can do it. You have a degree.
When you've been
You
sitting
can,
home for 20 years and you ain't got no work experience, you can have a degree. But they want 5, 10. These jobs, they're ridiculous.
Yeah, some
She might not
jobs
need to get a
some
high
jobs
value
do
job, but
want
she just come in at
experience,
entry
but you
level.
have some that don't. Like
Mhm.
where I work at now, you don't have to have experience.
Mhm.
We will train you, and this is a 6-figure job. So it's easy for anyone to get out there and get and get on that feet. You have to want to. But that's why I believe my grandfather raised me the way I did. He raised me to be independent, not to be independent like to say don't have a man, don't depend on a man, but to be able to
A parachute.
be able to take care of myself throughout life is something, so I won't have to be so dependable. Like, oh my goodness, if you leave me, I
I'm in
have
trouble.
nothing.
See, not even on the negative side though. Like stuff happens. You get somebody get in an accident and they have a health crisis and they can't
What they used to do.
either provide solely or just bring their part to the table. So like it's a lot of different factors and we don't live in a society for the most part where it's just a man taking care of women. It just don't exist. You got to really be making a lot of money. It depends on, there's so many different factors, depending on what state you live in. There's so many different factors. Nobody's really taking care of nobody solely. It might be 60, 40, 30, 70, 50, 50, but that's both of y'all 100 or 100.
Yep.
That's both of y'all 100%.
But you know what, cuz what you told me was people worrying about lifestyles they not even living. They can't even afford.
They be in the wrong people's
These
business.
people, they in rich people business. They
Yeah.
in wealthy people business because honestly, we can all say it'll be great if your man can pay 100% of the bills. I work in banking. I work in the
Right.
finance world. It ain't happening. The best credit, the best interest rate you can get right now is what, 8%, 9%?
Yeah,
You know,
something
that's
like that.
that's the best.
Right.
That's the best that you could get.
Mhm.
You got any dings on your credit or anything like that, that's going up. When you're looking at the average mortgage in a decent house size, a
Mhm.
good neighborhood, the mortgage is what, 2003 grand?
Mhm. Yeah.
Healthcare,
Mhm.
food. So when you think about it, I hear women saying, and I ain't knocking women, I love you for that. If that's the lifestyle that you want and you're standing on it and you're
Yeah.
going to get it, I love it. But is it reality? Like a lot of people be shunning people, oh, he want me to go 50-50. Okay, so what? That's where we are with it.
I'm like this with it. If my husband can take care of all the bills,
Great.
I'm still not going to stay home because I can go out and work and I can bring
Yeah.
in extra income for us. Although it doesn't have to go to the bills because he can handle it, but it can go into our savings.
Yeah.
And then, God forbid, something happens, because stuff happens.
That's what I'm saying.
People get into an accident. He may not be able to work for a year. You know that I got us covered.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good.
Who can
We're
really
good.
afford to stay home? Like you said, it's an accident, but like even then, if two grown-ups, right, living on their own, could afford to take care of themselves individually with nobody help, what people fail to realize, why they just trying to repeat talking points and live off talking points on the internet that don't fit them in the wrong people business. It's like what they forget is that if he could take care of himself and she could take care of herself, and we bring these two things together under one roof, that this chop set in half, and whatever you was doing, that's all banked. Just like you said,
Extra.
we could take this. This could be our vacation.
Yep.
You know, we could plan on starting a family. You know what I'm saying? We could invest in the stock market, get a brokerage account, and trade. It's so many different things you could do, but everybody just so trying to like one up each other, get over on each other.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it all these it's crazy the way we think and how we look at each other as men and women.
I think that's come, and this is not me taking up for women, because like I said, we are flawed. But I feel like women have gotten so scared and feel like they can't trust the black man because all he gonna do is cheat and lie.
But that's
So it
not
just
all
makes-
black men though.
It's not all
like,
black.
It's like,
but that's just like, if that's all the experiences that you have had, it's going to make it
But
scary.
wouldn't that go to how the type of women men pick? Because like it's no different than a dude. Like men understand, like we not gonna call every woman a freak because we slept with one chick the
Mhm.
first day and she was like this, like that. We know that was just who she was.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? A lot of times men get called out for shit their grandfathers did.
That's true.
Niggas wasn't even alive.
That's true.
Like, yo,
Yeah.
but it's not to say that, you know, growing up in the late 80s and 90s, even with the music and how we looked at women, fuck a bitch, this, that, and the third, like that played a role in how men looked at women as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So it's not to say that women shouldn't feel the way they feel, but I think a lot of the vitriol and animosity and hate and resentment is for like a generation of men that's fucking old or even did, and we paying the price.
I think, unfortunately, I think it starts a lot from the father. If your father, I think you can tell a difference between a woman who had a father in her life and one that did not. I think a lot of times it starts right there.
Answer me this: how you think a man could tell a difference? Like, what would be the things that stand out?
Standards, boundaries.
Because
A woman who has
said
said
that, only reason I'm gonna let you finish your thought. Only reason I said that because, like, yo, you could be raised by a single mom and still be all right in some cases.
in some
I'm
cases,
just saying.
but I'm gonna tell you the difference. I think the difference in single mom
Mm-hmm.
and dad in their life, I have seen with my friends, the ones who had their dad in their life going to stand on business. They
Mm-hmm.
got certain standards and certain boundaries, especially if they were taken care of and safe by their dad.
Yeah.
That's what they going to look for.
Because you definitely could
A
tell when they
woman
did.
who
Yeah.
never had it, they don't know what the hell they looking for. I'm
Yeah.
looking for love. That's all. I'm looking for a man that going to love me that I never got from my dad. So she's going to be willing to bite down and bear and let stuff slide that she wouldn't necessarily
Yeah.
slide.
Because you
But-
can have a bad dad.
Yeah. That's why I
You see
say
what
a
I'm
dad
saying?
that made you safe.
Because a
dad that
lot
made
of
you feel
times, right? Because a
protected.
lot of times, yo, we be it's like when you see people, it's a mirror of who raised them and their experiences.
Correct.
So you could tell if they had a father. Like, I'm making you to your point.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have to disagree on that only because I myself I didn't have my father.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't meet my father until I was 24 years old.
Right.
And I like to think that a lot of people can't tell that.
But I'm
And
gonna
it-
ask you
and-
this,
and-
and
I thought that you was raised by. I thought your father was in your life when I met you.
And that's what I was going to get to. It really depends on who's in that child life, how that child is being raised. I don't think it matters if the father is in the house or not, because if the father's not there, is there another man in that
that's
family?
what I was gonna ask you. Was it a
that-
strong man like your grandfather?
Yeah, my grandfather, he gave me advice and everything, but I still didn't. I didn't have that father bond. I was missing that, and I knew that I was missing that. That's why I went and found my father.
But when you found your dad, do you think that made your relationships better?
No,
Like when you
not at all. So
she said not at all.
But to you, go ahead, finish your thought.
I was just going to say, no, it didn't make my relationships better, as far as me dating or anything. But it did give me that closure that I needed of not having that missing void, not having him in my life.
Yeah, but that's where uncles come in, grandfathers and stuff. So a father figure is no different than a father. Like your grandfather is a father figure. So
That's how I feel.
you still made a point, but yeah, it's the same. We saying the same thing.
I think that matters. I think
What
Larry
about-
hate when I say this, right? I think sometimes we gotta go all the way back to even the slave days. Our black men has withstand so much stuff, so that I think that plays a part in how they show up because of their own trauma. I think more often than none, people don't see black men of having trauma and having issues.
Absolutely not. Nobody
They get
cares.
rolled over top of. I think they get rolled over top of.
And
And
in general,
I
but,
think it's also
yeah.
because black men have a lot put on their shoulders the moment
we don't
they're
know.
born a black
yes,
male.
they're born with the issues, right?
Right.
But
they
us
have a
being
lot of things
women
to overcome.
and us women.
Y'all more tolerated in society.
So I go both ways. I work in corporate America, and sometimes I feel like black women get picked last. Like we gotta show up. We gotta show up with everything.
That I can agree.
We get picked last.
Go ahead, do
when it
your
comes to
thing.
corp-
Go ahead.
I think in the
Talk your
corporate,
talk.
I think in the corporate world we get picked last. You gotta have 4 degrees, and guess what? They gonna take the guy with the 1 degree that's just fresh out of college, don't know nothing, and we gotta train them. And I think it's just
We have
we
to
show
work
short.
harder
Mhm.
and show ourselves more
Mhm.
just to be accepted for us, for us knowing what we know and be in a position of what we need to be
Yep.
in. It took me when I was at my job and I wanted this certain position and I knew I was for it. I knew everything about it. I could handle it. Everybody was laughing at me, taking me for a joke. I was like, no, I'm going to be in that position.
Mhm.
Ha, 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 ha. I had to constantly prove myself and prove myself. I had to land a big deal with a company to come and get all these cars from me for them to finally see, okay,
She can do it.
she can do it. Then for them to put me in the position that I've been saying, hey, I can do. Hey, I can do.
All right, here go a little bit of what about meism. But it's just like, anyway, no. Yo, you serious as shit over there. Yo, I ain't doing it.
think-
I'll give you the promotion. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think oftentimes as women, We just got to show up everywhere. We got to show up at home. I got to be the
This
wife.
shit just
I got
turned to the view. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think as women, we got to show up at home. But I think it go back to what I said. We got to communicate with our partners. We got to communicate with our spouse and let them know what I am looking for. I read a book by Brene Brown, and it says, she said this is how she communicate with her husband. Hey, I only got 80 today.
Mm-hmm.
What you got? You got 20, okay. And sometimes we show up, I only got 30, I got 30. So we going to have to figure it out. I think you got to have those conversations. The biggest problem is I find that we just assume. I assume, and I'm guilty of it.
In all fairness, though, but I agree with you 1,000%. I heard about that book, and I heard that, and I agree with that. I think a lot of times, man, like, you just gotta read the room, and we gotta communicate, because sometimes we be so into what happened to us today, how my day was, that sometimes you forget to say, well, how was your shit?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because you might come home, you in a good mood, and this motherfucker's sour, grumpy, he ruining your shit, or vice versa.
Yep.
But you know your spouse. So, like you said, read the room. You know your spouse. You can read their energy, like you know them.
Yeah, I agree, but that's what I'm saying. But sometimes it happens. That's why I named all of it. I covered every base when I said that. That's why sometimes you're not thinking about it. Sometimes you just all in your shit, boy. That work was high five and leaving out the door. That motherfucker. I see y'all tomorrow.
Or you call
and then you come home. This motherfucker got yelled at.
He ready
to tuck his tail. I was like, man, I had to think about the light bill. I was about to fuck my boss up.
And that's where the communication come in.
And I'm gonna say that
environment where y'all can talk.
Yep.
Because a lot of times, for men, not to cut you, excuse me. A lot of times for men, like, we don't never want to really seem vulnerable to our lady.
Why is that?
Why?
Because we just don't want to look weak.
You're not weak.
I'm not saying that we don't, but I'm saying
like to your ladies, I'm your best friend.
That's how I feel.
You should be open. You should tell me.
Though, because everybody don't get to that level. Like, you looking at it based on how we talk to each other. We call each other stupid ass dummy. Love you. We are friends. We are best friends, correct? But everybody don't have that type of communication. They can't even joke with each other.
That's the problem.
You can't even call your girl and fun going on in the background, like Kevin Hart said. Oh, you having fun?
Right.
It's different for other people.
And I think so. And I think also, not only reading the room, sometimes you can't let your day follow you home.
Yeah.
You cannot let your day follow you home. And I've been guilty.
Home at home.
Yep, I've been guilty of letting my day follow me home, rather it be a tough mom day. Because tough mom days be real.
No, because
this nigga work home every fucking day.
Listen, because you're my best friend. I be needing to vent.
But hold on. At first, I used to get to me, but I do acknowledge the fact that I be like, yo, let her get her shit off.
Yeah,
it's just vent. It's my way to get it off my chest. Once it's out and open, I'm done.
Nigga, we at home, yo, fuck them.
And I think it's like to keep it under control, like putting a time on it. Like, I'm gonna give you the first 30 minutes at home to let it, get it off your chest. Then we gonna stop.
Yeah, then sometimes you talk about some shit and you get mad all over again.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah.
So I think a lot of times we just let our day follow us home. We let the kids follow us home. And sometimes what I've learned, you gotta say, fuck them kids. Fuck work. And I got to show up for my man in this space. Like, I'm home now and I got to show up here. And I think a lot of people don't do that. They use their partner, especially their man, as their personal punching bag. Like, this is my personal punching bag. He's supposed to take whatever I give to him because he is my man. And we forget that they're human too. We don't often say, what the hell he been through today? Like, what's going on with him today? Is he tired today? Can I do something to make his day better? And I think as women, we live this princess. I think we born like in this princess life and mindset that it's all about me.
Yeah, that is a woman's mindset, and men do that too.
It's all about me. I just want to make sure, like we want to keep that in there.
Especially if you got a good man. Oh. And I think when you got a good man, you got to check yourself. Because when you got a good man that show up for you, you start to think he's supposed to. Like, you better show up in a minute that he don't. You like, excuse me, you not showing up for me? It's crazy to me.
Right. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Because if I know I have a good man and he had my back, which my man is, and I know he going to show up for me, and the moment he do, I'm like, what's going on? But that's because I'm a good woman to him. I got his back.
And that's the point that I'm making.
I'm going to show up. But
I think that's the point that I'm making. In most cases that I think it's got to be a two.
A lot of times it's just one sided. What you say unequally yoked.
Yeah.
One person is just showing up and taking the other person for granted. Not necessarily you personally, but just in general, like just even when you look out there and the stuff that people saying when in relationships, the stuff that men say, stuff that women say, and like for men, it's like no, like to her point, like nobody cares what the fuck because we're men. You know what I'm saying? Nobody think we got feelings. I know we human too.
But
hold on, let me finish my thought. Nobody, it just falls on deaf ears. So like a lot of times men show up and nobody shows up for them. Not you per se. I'm not talking about you.
But
no. I get it, but I think I don't see nothing wrong with a woman, seeing or feeling her man as a protector.
That's not wrong with that
No,
either.
it's not wrong
Nobody.
with that.
What's wrong with that?
So like, if I need you, show up. Like, comfort me.
That's the thing. That's what she was saying. He is showing up. He is there. Nobody shows up for him or think about how he doing. It's all one sided. That's all he's doing is showing up. Like you could pour. Imagine if you just pouring into somebody, right? Like imagine, right? Every day you tell me I love you, big handsome. You text me. You do all these things that make me feel good throughout the day. You don't know how my day going. But you imagine if I didn't give that in return. You just always
start pulling from empty glass.
And I didn't do anything back. After a while, you come like that guy. You need a refill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And that's how
And
it
that
is
both
for
ways.
men. But
I don't. I can understand that's how it is for men in that situation, but I don't think that's how majority of relationships are. There are some, but I can't see it being majority.
Talking about
in general.
Yes, in general, baby. Of course, it's not. I didn't meet everybody and sit down and talk to everybody to see what's going on in their relationship, but it happens enough. That's the point.
It happens. I think it happens a lot.
And if you got your ear to the ground, that's what men are talking about. When you open up your app, you go to TikTok. That's why you got the whole soft guy era where guys acting a certain type of way or turning the tables. I love it. I think it's funny.
I think it's funny, but I think it's sad. I think it's sad. I think this whole, and I'm not knocking it because I'm babe, how your day doing? You good? I miss you, babe. Love you. Da da da. I'm, on top of it. But this whole soft guy thing, if you want to be chased, let me call the police because I don't like it.
I don't think they really want to be. Go ahead.
I hate it.
No, because I was just going to say with the soft guy era thing, I think that's more so of the woman. Like,
it's a reaction to how women act. Remember we were talking about how women is a reaction to how men were acting?
Exactly. So that would be like.
But do you like that? Like, do you think that's a good thing? Like these men wanting to be chased and these men want you to fly them out. You be hearing all type of radical stuff with these men.
So
not a good man.
No, but they don't really want to be flown out.
Right.
They're being funny.
But you be surprised.
Go ahead.
But I wouldn't mind. Like on my first date with my husband, I believe I pulled my car out. Yeah. Like, I'm that type of person.
No, it's not.
Like, I don't mind. Like, yeah, babe, I'll fly you out. Like, I don't mind being that way, and I don't think that demasculate him. That's just how I am as a person. If I have it and I want to take care of him because I'm in love him and I want to show him a good time, there's nothing wrong with him. It don't take away the masculinity from him or anything like that. I don't think there's nothing
wrong with it, but what I'm saying is, back to traditions. Like, don't be out here, like, don't be out here acting like no woman's supposed to take care of you, and that's a cute thing. And I'm gonna tell you, and that's a real thing because my best friend Anthony should go to him. No, because
hold on, go ahead, finish it.
No, but let me tell you, my best friend Anthony should go to hands. Love her to death. She's been an entrepreneur since we've been kids. Mm-hmm. She's always been an entrepreneur. That's what she does. Mm-hmm. Make a killing, right? Because the beauty industry, it be booming. She has had men, oh, you big money grip. Don't ever say that to me. Don't you ever say, oh, you got it. Like, to me, that is a turn off.
Drizzle.
I'm about to run. The minute a man come in somebody's face that they trying to get to know and you say, oh, you got it, don't ever say that.
But see,
that's the stuff that I don't like.
I agree with you, but I don't think that has, so hold on. I think you kind of like pitting that into the soft guy era thing. Let me just touch up on it. Drizzle in the building. Shorties, I got us. Look. That is a response to all the ridiculous shit that women be asking for men.
Some
all
women.
The stuff that we was talking about.
Because I'm on toy level.
Outstanding things. These guys it's not literal. They're being funny. The way they acting is showing you how ridiculous some women are. Yeah. In response to, you should see all of the divestors. They say more black babies, black men ain't this. The internet is is middle school. When it comes to, not everybody, of course. I'm not never space, nothing, it's all in general, right? So let me just be clear. But it is a war going. When you open that phone and you go on them apps, it's a war going on. It's fucking brimstone and fire and bullets flying and grenades being tossed in the relationship world because it's just ridiculous. Nobody is in reality.
That's
And it's
and
extreme sides on both sides, not just women,
But
but
men
men.
too.
But to the soft guy era is in response to what some men feel is ridiculous from women.
so to me, I agree with that. I agree with Toy 5,000%. If I'm with my man and we out, I'm about to swipe my card. I'm about to be going to go on a trip. Oh, you booked the trip? Yeah, babe, I booked the trip. So I agree with her. I agree with her. Like, that's a cool thing to do and to be able to do, and it don't take nothing away from your man. But I'm saying when you come into these relationships, I don't know if you guys heard about this, that it's a group of men, it's men that's attaching to women that's in nursing school. Waiting for, like, proposing to them before they graduate from nursing school.
Drizzle.
You know, it's men that's out here just doing dumb stuff.
No,
I mean,
because-
well, it would be the same thing as females,
That's
like
why-
attaching
that's
to
what
the
I'm saying. That's
basketball
why I said-
players.
Right.
That's why I said drizzle. Hold on, I want to say two things about both of y'all. Baby, I appreciate the type of woman you are. I love you to death. Nate, I appreciate what type of woman you are. I love you to death, right? Both of y'all are great women. And I get why it triggered you because you only can speak from your perspective.
Yeah.
Both of you guys,
Mhm.
women, excuse me, ladies. But I was just speaking in general. But it's like I really pay attention. Because I want to talk about this shit, so I'm paying attention. And it's a big thing. And you go in there's thousands of comments, hundreds of thousands of shares, and hundreds of thousands of like, yo, this really going on. People are paying attention. So the way you take the temperature of society is going any comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're
It's
hiding
crazy.
behind their phone and computer. They
Oh, God.
telling you how they really feel. Number ABC733 user said XYZ. You
But
know
the
what I
thing
mean?
is, though, you can't. Hopefully, I hope when people see that stuff, they don't let it bleed into their real
The
life.
problem is some people just like some people do. That's the problem. They try to live through talking points.
No, they can't. You can't live
Through
through
other
feelings.
people's lives, like what you said earlier about in other people's business. Like,
Yeah,
for
other
instance,
people's
the other
business.
side of the drizzle is the guy who said, yeah, you 50 minutes, this, y'all trash, and y'all this, and blah, 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 right? But this guy could afford his wife a certain type of lifestyle, and he probably cheat, and he got his foot on her neck.
Yeah.
So that's the other side when you
That's
look
a-
behind
it's-
the
it's
curtain.
a flip
So,
side to
You see what I'm
everything.
saying? So like, so it's all these extreme sides when people is not even reasoning with the reality of how we really living out here, and that's crazy.
And I don't think, and people shouldn't get up on that phone and think that that's reality, because that's only snippets of people's life.
Yeah,
I think when it come down to it, you have to communicate with your partner and watch who you keep around you. I think a lot of people, and this is not me saying married people can't hang with single people, right? Because I don't believe that. But I'm saying you gotta watch who you're around, because your village. You take a village raised child. I think it take a village. You put a village around your marriage. Like,
That's true.
Larry is my cousin, my first cousin. I love him to death, but I'm
Love you
not
too.
standing on nothing that he do that's stupid. I'm going to call him to the carpet. You're not going to be out of line. You know why? Because I love him. And because I love him, I love his marriage. I want his marriage to win. And I think you put yourself around people that's not for you, who don't give a damn, you're going to suffer.
you got weak-minded people that
You got people around
need
it, yes,
people
yes.
around them to justify the bullshit they do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I hate when I call Larry sometimes. Like, I hate when I call him with a serious topic and he just make it very simple. Like, this is what it is. Like, you gotta have people that can get you here and can level with you. Stop hanging around with single people that's hipping and hopping and living a lifestyle that you're not living. That's
Oh,
first
man.
thing first. You ain't got no business out there with them people.
Or even married people.
Married people, single people, whoever. If they're living a certain lifestyle
That
and you
doesn't
don't
fit
want it to
yours.
bleed into your relationship, get away from them people. High and buy.
Mm-hmm.
Choose
And that's
your
what a
circle
lot of
wisely.
people, and a lot of times, I know people hate it, like what they say, birds
Birds and flock together. Yeah.
Even if that's not your style, when you start hanging around that person too much, you may start moving a certain type of way sometimes.
Only pushback I give you in that sense because, like, I'm a man. I know all kinds of men, and they do different things for whatever reason. Because to men, a lot of stuff is not emotional. It's reasons why.
It's logic.
Yeah, it's a reason why. Like, I love my family. I don't want to lose my family, but she don't like to have sex for whatever reason. Or he fucked up, so he might get some pussy when he can, but he's not on the hunt. Then you got guys who just on the hunt with this on the
Still
hunt.
on the
Hey,
hunt.
Use this.
But you know what,
You're not
though?
reliable. You can depend on this.
But the thing
You know what
is,
I'm saying?
Larry, I'm going to tell you
But
this.
hold on, let me say this last part. That don't necessarily make the other guys around them. Maybe it's more or less for like pack animals, women, respectfully. It's like, no, but like a lot of times when men get older, for the most part, they kind of think for themselves. Like you about when you get a certain age, you are who you are. Like he might be the cheater, he might be the one that always need to borrow money, he might be this one that always what's the name. But then it's like we are a group, and typically for men in those circles, like we might not necessarily agree with it. He might got his finances together, but he cheat. And I might be a loyal man. My finances fucked up. We kind of balance each other out when it comes to trying to get each other on the right track.
Right.
But my thing is this, Larry, you can't really compare yourself to most men because you disciplined. What I'm learning, men that's not disciplined gonna always give you problems because you got to be disciplined to stay faithful. Because I'm not a fool. Men are flesh, more flesh. We are more emotional. So sometimes I do believe. Don't shoot me, Toy. I do believe sometimes for men it's just sex.